Hi, Crispin here from FX Algo Trader, 21st of July 2016. This is our sort of first steps video tutorials for people looking to start trading foreign exchange. And in this video, I'm going to talk about MetaTrader. MetaTrader is a trading platform specially developed for retail foreign exchange traders. It was developed by a company called MetaQuotes, which is based in Russia. And there are two current flavors of MetaTrader. There's MetaTrader 4, which has been around for quite a long time, and MetaTrader 5, which is a new release, which unfortunately is not backwards compatible with MetaTrader 4. The nice thing about MetaTrader is you can write programs and scripts and indicators and all kinds of different tools which will help you make the job easier, basically. That's what I did around about 2006-7. I started writing programs which would allow me to trade more easily, and in the end I enjoyed actually developing software more than I enjoyed trading, so I ended up going into setting up FX Algo Trader full time and just pretty much focusing on tool development. But I thought it'd be useful to share some of my experiences with novice traders. I've made all the mistakes you can, I can promise you. So over the course of these videos, hopefully there will be some value for people starting out, and I might be able to shorten that process for you, and with some luck maybe help you to become one of the profitable retail Forex traders, of which there are very few, unfortunately. However, let's talk about MetaTrader. You can see here, when you first load MetaTrader up, it'll come up with normally a few charts, which is the default settings. They'll normally have about 4 charts, and it'll look a bit like, hang on one second, just load another one and another one. It normally tiles the charts, something like that, tiled vertically. And let's look at a chart in a bit of detail so we can discuss what's on the chart and how it works. So you can display charts on different time frames, and most people use these options here, this candlesticks. And a candlestick is useful because it gives you an idea about price evolution, and by that I mean if you look at a particular candlestick, so this one that's forming here, let me just get rid of these indicators because it's making things a little bit more confused. Just got a couple of moving averages there and a stochastics indicator, but we'll worry about that another time. So you can see here, this is a candle, and if the candle is dark, in this case, it means that, well, let's talk about printed candles. So this candle here was printed 1 minute ago, okay, because we're on a 1 minute chart, so every single one of these candles represents 1 minute of price action, okay. So black candles are where the open price is at the top and the close price is down here, and then the wicks represent the highs and the lows which are achieved within that 1 minute period. So at the moment we're seeing this candle is being produced in real time. So that was its open, so 0.9867. we're on US dollar Swiss franc here. And at the moment we've got a low down here of 0.9866, and then price is just evolving as we talk. So you can view this chart on any time frame you choose. So the chart periods here are 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, hourly, 4 hourly, daily, weekly and monthly. So obviously each one of these, so now we're on the hourly, each one of these represents 1 hour of price action. And what you want to do in MT4 is, I use MT4, I don't bother with MT5. So MT5 is pretty similar, but all the tools that I've developed run on MT4. So I'm sticking with MT4, which is what a lot of people who have been trading for a while have decided to do, unfortunately for MetaQuotes. But so if you press Control and N in MetaTrader, it'll come up with something called a navigator, and this is where you can actually look at all your indicators, expert advisors, scripts, etc. The indicators and expert advisors are pretty much the same thing. except expert advisors are tools which can allow you to auto trade in MetaTrader. And auto trading allows you to basically drop programs onto your charts which will automatically open and close positions for you based upon criteria which you can define. And what I'll do here though is I'll just load up something simple. You've got a whole load of existing tools which come with MetaTrader, and then obviously if you want you can download additional indicators or purchase indicators depending on what you're looking for. I've developed a whole load of different types of custom indicators which do all sorts of different things, but again we'll talk about those in other videos. But let's say for example you just want something very simple like a simple moving average. So to load a moving average onto your chart, you just go to insert indicators, scroll down to trend, because moving average is a trend based indicator, click moving average, and now you'll see the different parameters come up here. What a lot of traders like to keep an eye on is longer term moving averages, like 100 period or 200 period exponential moving averages. So moving averages can be, their calculation basis is based on different algorithms. So you can use a simple calculation basis, an exponential calculation basis, which tends to hug price action more closely in the recent term, in the more recent price action. So a lot of people like the 200 period exponential moving average, and you can obviously style it and change the colors and all that kind of stuff. Don't shift it. The shift parameter in MT4 allows you to defer or offset the actual moving average by a certain number of bars, and I've never understood why people want to do that. It seems completely counterintuitive to me, because moving averages by their nature are lagging. They're lagging indicators, so they're based on historical data. So always remember that. I just cannot see any point in making something which is historical even more historical by shifting into the past even more. But don't worry about that. That's just one thing that I did a lot when I was first starting out. Was I spent a long time trying to tune indicators, trying to tweak things, trying to find a way to tune or tweak an indicator to actually identify something hidden or a pattern in the market. I spent years doing that. Don't bother. The people who develop these indicators spend a long time doing it, and the default parameters for most oscillator based indicators are as good as you're going to get. There is very little point in messing about trying to sort of make an indicator fit a certain type of price action on a chart. It is a total waste of time. So without further ado, let's just get this indicator on the chart. I actually just cancelled it there. So tools, indicator list, moving average, we'll edit that. We've got a 200 period moving average on here, and I can't actually see it because I'm zoomed in too much. So to zoom out, just go to the little arrow here, and now here it is. You can see this long-term 200 period moving average on our chart, and that's interesting. So you've got to actually look at what this moving average is doing, and the best way to do it is to go onto a higher time frame. And if you go onto the daily chart, you can see very clearly that if the moving average is fairly flat, that indicates that the market is quite range bound. There's no real direction, and that's confirmed by this kind of whipsaw-y price action. It's just kind of moving around, oscillating around this moving average. What I'm doing here is I'm just turning off the scroll chart function, because that will allow me to go back in time without the chart constantly updating. If I turn it on, the chart always moves to the most current bar being printed. So if I go back over time, you can start to see how when the moving average goes on to a bit of a slant, this is an indication of a trend where the overall price action is on its way up, which is confirmed by this zigzaggy up pattern. A lot of the Elliott wave guys like to refer to these as swings or cycles, legs if you like. I'm not really big into Elliott waves, so that's up to you if you want to look into all that kind of stuff. But broadly speaking, if you just look at how the moving average evolves, you can see here moving average is on an upward gradient, and then corresponding to obviously price action. So we'll get on to how you could potentially trade a moving average in further videos, but we're really just looking at how MetaTrader works at the moment. I suppose one of the key things about it is how do you place an order. So this is a demo account. So if I wanted to place an order on this US dollar Swiss franc chart, I can right click anywhere in the chart and I can go to trading. And if I want to put a new order in, I'll just click new order, and then I can simply select the pair I want to trade. In this case, it's defaulted to the chart which I'm on, US dollar Swiss franc. I can select the volume. You got to also understand a little bit about volumes. So typically, one lot, which is what we've got here, corresponds to $100,000 in your base currency, $100,000 of exposure. So you're getting a lot of exposure there with one lot. So if you're starting out, keep your lot sizes really small. So start on micro lots ideally, so 0.01. Mini lots are 0.1. And this is a full lot, which is 1. You can obviously set your stop loss, which is the number of pips around your trade. So I might want to say a stop loss of say 25 pips and a take profit of 25 pips, which should give me a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I can put a comment on here saying 1-to-1 risk reward. And I've got types of execution, so I can put an instant execution in here which will place the order immediately. So as it's in an uptrend, well, as it's sort of uptrending, I'm just going to buy it. There's no real, I wouldn't do this normally if I was properly trading. I'm just showing you how the order execution works. So I click buy, it's giving me an invalid stop loss. That's because I need to give it an actual value. So we've got 98665. So what I'm going to do is my stop loss is going to be underneath that. So I'm going to go in at 98. Let's go in at 9846. And our take profit is going to be 20 pips higher, so 0.9985. So our trade's been executed, and our stop loss is actually far too close to that. In fact, sorry, our take profit is far too big. I miscalculated that. So if I want to actually reduce that take profit level, I can do that in a few different ways in MT4. So I can drag to modify it. So if I click that level, double click it. In fact, on this particular setup, my MT4 setup, I need to go into my charts. I go into tools, options, and then on show trade levels, I'm just going to turn this use alt key to drag trade levels off, which will now allow me to move this trade level very simply. So I'm moving that take profit level down to something a bit more reasonable, roughly 1-to-1 risk reward, and that's it. So I've got my stop loss level placed, I've got my take profit level placed. So if price action comes down and hits my take profit, I'll be left with a profit in my account. If it comes down and hits this stop loss, the trade will automatically close and I'll be left with a loss. To inspect open trades, you need to look at the terminal window in MT4. So you can press Control T or go to View Terminal. And then if you go down to the Trade tab, you'll see the actual trade you've just entered, the order number, which is unique for every trade, the time, what the actual trade type is. It's a buy, the size and lots, symbol, price, stop loss, take profit level, etc. And you can see here my comment, 1-to-1 risk reward. You can also remove comments or not display comments if you wish to by right clicking on this bar and then selecting the actual data items you want to see. If you want to trail your stop, you can do that by clicking on the actual order, going to trailing stop, and then at the moment we've got none selected, but then I can trail by a number of points. So in this case, I'll trail by 50 points. What I can do as well is if at any point I'm not happy with this order and I want to get out of it, just close it. Simple as that. That's done. And then when I go to my account history, you'll see that I lost $11.54 on that trade. It gives you obviously the open times, close times, and all the rest of it. So that's very quickly how you can make it you can make trades and how you can navigate around the timescales, load an indicator, and obviously what candlesticks actually mean. We can go more into reading candlesticks and interpreting those in further videos, but hopefully that just gives you a flavor for candlestick charts, basic indicator loading on MT4, and also how to execute a trade.